Hello friends, in this video tutorial we are looking at HTML, how to insert table in HTML. Okay, before we start, let's have an overview of what table is all about. Okay, here this is a table. I just use Microsoft Word to create this table. In table we have rows, which is like this, which goes like this, and we have columns. Some people call these rows record and call this an attribute. Okay, that's maybe in database stuff. We call this attribute, we call this row. So this table has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. Okay, it has 7 rows and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. Okay, so we really need to understand this concept, and that will help us to start creating table with HTML. Okay, back to this my notepad. When we are writing in HTML version 4, there is a way we create table, which is a little bit different from the way we create table in HTML version 5. And remember, we are learning HTML version 5. So I am going to show you how we create table with HTML version 4 then, and how we create table now. Because this HTML version 4, if you create table using the method we use then, it will still work, and it is a little bit simpler than version 5. Okay, and I will tell you the advantage of version 5 over the one of version 4. So let's start. Okay, in my desktop, I just created a folder HTML. So I'm going to open my Visual Studio Code, go to File, Open Folder. Okay, go to my desktop, find the HTML folder that I have created, and select folder. Okay, in our last video tutorial we talked about image. You will see the file we created in our last video tutorial, which is this image, and the image will implement here. This time around we are going to talk about table. So let me create a new file. I will call it table.html. Table.html. Okay, I hit enter. Okay, before I start, let me just write the basic tag of HTML. I say HTML. I will select version 5. Okay, let me give it a title, HTML table. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do now is to show you how we write table with HTML version 4 then. Look, I'm going to create a header. Let me say header 2. Let me say table in HTML version 4. Okay, so in HTML version 4, the way we create table is first of all, you create a table tag. It's a double tag. Okay, you see I created a table tag, the opening and the closing tag. Then inside it now, you have told the HTML that you are creating a table. The first thing now is to create a table row. TR stands for table row, tab. Okay, this is first row of our table. Then inside the row you create the columns. Okay, what we are trying to do is in HTML, you first of all write a code for the entire table, which is a table tag. You write a row, you write the columns inside the row. You write another row, you write the columns that will be inside the row, just like that. Okay, back to our code. I have write a row. Look, I will say this row will have column. This is the first column. You see, in writing column, we will write TD, known as table data or table column. Okay, I copy and paste, copy and paste. So it simply means in this table we have a table with 1 row and 3 columns. A table with 1 row and 3 columns. Okay, the column 1, let me call it row 1, column 1. Okay, because this is the first row and the only row we have for now. Okay, I'll call this row 1, column 2, and this becomes row 1, column 3. Okay, let me run this code. I review this, reveal in File Explorer, then I double click on this as the table I created, table.html. Okay, you see here we have a table, row 1, column 1, which is this, row 1, column 2, which is this, then row 1, column 3. You will notice that this thing doesn't really show as a table. The reason why is because I didn't tell my HTML to draw the line of the table. Okay, like I said, programming is all about telling computer what to do and how to do it. So for the computer to draw the line to show that this is actually a table, I have to give him the command. How do I do that? I go back to my code. I go to the table tag here. I says, I want you to put this table a border by writing this border. Then border is equal to, I now write the thickness of the border. If I say 1, it means use a tiny line for the border. Okay, let's see the code again. Let me refresh. You see our table now has a border. It shows row 1, column 1, row 1, column 2. If I increase this border, the lines increases. Let me say 19. Okay, go back to this, to our web browser. If I refresh, you see that the border have actually increases. Okay, let me leave this border with 5. Okay, so what I really want to do now is to copy this now. I copy it, Ctrl C, and I paste it down here. Okay, here what we actually have now is a table with 2 rows. The row 1 has 3 columns and the row 2 has 3 columns. Okay, let me just name this row 2. Row 2. Okay, this is row 2 first column, row 2 second column, row 2 third column. Okay, let's check and see. See that actually in our table we have 2 rows, which is this, and each of these rows has 3 columns. Okay, our table looks so small, so we are going to give a computer a command to increase this table size. We want to drag this table a bit. So how do we do that? We now write another attribute in here known as the table width. Just by writing width, you can say that we want the width of our table to be 700 ps, and we want the height. To be, let me say, 500 ps. Believing I didn't make any mistake in the spelling, let me check the result. You see that we have the width 700 ps and the height. Okay, but sometimes even if you didn't specify the height and the width, what you write in the table columns determines how the more you write, the more the table continues to expand. But if you specify it, computer will just do that. So do you notice that we create a table row, we create a column, then we write or put our data inside the columns. So in HTML, data are being kept inside the columns or inside the table data. No wonder it is known as table data, because this is the tag that actually holds the data in the table. Okay, in this table for version 4, there's another way we'll do this table. Let me just show you. Let me just copy this, create another table here. Okay, in this second table, I'm going to make this row 3. Make this row 3. Okay, this is row 1, this is row 2, this is row 3. Let me just name it row 3. Okay, so there's another way we differentiate this. For example, we can, the first row, which is supposed to be a kind of the label or the title of the table, you can decide to write this TH, a kind of table head, instead of TD. What actually this will do is that computer will really understand that your label, this is your label, and it will actually bold it. Okay, you see this one has TH. Okay, let me leave it like this. If I run this code, see the result. This is the first table, this is the second table. You notice that in this second table, this is being made bold and kept at the center. Because I use TH, computer now understand that this is the header of this table, and it will automatically arrange it by bolding it and centralizing it. Okay, you see that this table joined together because I did not actually break a line. Okay, let me break a line here so that this table will come back down a bit. Okay, let me refresh again. You see. Okay, let me just reduce the width and the height. Let me say, let the width be 200 and let the height be just 100. Okay, this is for the first. Okay, this is for the second table. The first table, let me just do the same thing here. Let me say 200 and 100, because I actually want this table to be small so that we can see all of them at once. Okay, I refresh this. Okay, this is the first table, this is the second table. This one has TH, this one doesn't have TH. So you can see that both of them works. If you actually want to use this to present a data, you can use TH. But if you want to use table to structure your website, no need for TH. What do I mean by structuring your website? You may decide that you want to create something here, whereby image will be here, write-up will be here, image will be here. You can use this table to structure your website. There are some websites you will see an image will stay here. There will be some write-up beside it like this. Another write-up will be here. Then image stays here. Some people use table like this. What they actually do is that they will place image inside this table data. They will write something here, do the same thing, then they will hide the border. Okay, let's just do a sample of it. Let me go back here. Let me copy this first table. This table now that I'm creating, my actual aim now is not to present data, but to use it to structure something. Okay, let me just paste it here. Okay, before I proceed, I want us to understand that table equally have this attribute of align. I can align this table at the center. Let me say align center. Okay, this third table here will be at the center. Let me give it a header. Let me say header 2. Table for structuring stuff, so that you know the table I'm talking about. Table for structuring stuff. Structuring stuff. Okay, let me run this code. Okay, you see that this table is at the center because I put the attribute at the center. Okay, what I actually want to do now is to use this table to structure stuff. So I want to put image here in this row 1 column 1. Then I will put image in this row 2 column 2, whereby write-up goes here in this row 1 column 2. Then in column 2 of row 1, image goes here. So what I want to do is image, write-up, image, write-up, image, write-up. Then I will hide the border. I just use it to structure some data, not to present the data. And once I hide the border, you may not actually know that I'm using this table to structure this. Okay, see how I'm going to do it. Okay, in the first row I want image to be here. Okay, so let me just add an image. I'll just say img tab. Okay, you see I already have an image that I use for my first tutorial, so I'm going to put it here, a.jpg. that's the image. Let me just write the alternative. Let me say testing. Okay, so I want to resize this image because you know that this image is large. So let me say width 150 ps. Like I taught in the previous video tutorial that if you put a width or a height, the other one will be taken care of automatically. Like now I have put a height, a width, the height will automatically be taken care of. If I only set the height, the width will be automatically taken care of. But if I set both of them, it will now follow the instruction. Okay, I says width 150. The image is a.jpg. Okay, let me check it out. You see automatically the table have shifted. Like I said, the table shifted or resized based on the data inside it. Okay, now I am no longer interested in the table width and height because I believe my data will restructure everything. Okay, and also I am no longer interested in the border, so let me remove it so that once I refresh this, you will not even notice that I'm actually using table to set. You see how the thing looks like. Okay, let me go back to the code. I want to resize this image. Let me say the width should be 250. I want this image to be bigger. Okay, then my second row, column 1, I said I want text to be here, so I'm going to create a lorem. Let me say lorem 120 tab. Okay, I just generated some content. Okay, coming back to the code, you see what we have. This is an image, this is text, this is a column. You see that this table have automatically filled up this gap because the content is big. So the more the content, the more it continues to resize. Okay, actually I'm going to make this bigger, and I'm equally going to create an image here. Let's see how it goes. Back to my code. Okay, I just scroll to the end. Okay, let me just do this 350. Okay, let me say 400. Okay, let me just copy this and use it to replace this. Okay, I remove this and paste. So in my row 1, column 1, I have an image. In column 2, I have a text. In column 3, I have an image. Okay, let me just do this the same thing here before I check out stuff. Okay, let me copy this and put it here. Okay, I copy this and put it here. So what actually I did is that row 1, column 1 have an image. Row 1, column 2 have a text. Row 1, column 3 have an image. Then in my row 2, the first column have a text, second column have an image, third column have a text. Let's see the result. Okay, I refresh. You see actually what we have here. So we can actually use table to structure our web pages. So if somebody wants to create something like this, you feel like you want to use table, you can use table to do it. Okay, so we don't only use table to structure, to present data, we can use it to structure our website. As you can see here, I don't need border and I don't need th, because assuming I'm using th here, this will be bold because this is the first row. So when you want to present data, I suggest you use th, but when you want to structure, use the normal table format without border so that you can be able to structure. There's nothing wrong putting border if you feel like you want to put border. For instance, let me test it. Let me just put border here. Let me say border is equal to 1. Okay, I refresh. You see I have border. Okay, so it depends on what you want to design. Okay, that's all for HTML version 4 table. In the next video tutorial, we are going to look at how to create table in HTML version 5. Remember, this can work, so it's not obsolete. You can use it. You can equally use version 5. So in the next tutorial, we are going to know the difference between the version 4 and the version 5, and the advantage the version 5 have over version 4. You can still use version 4, you can still use version 5. Thank you so much. Bye bye.